I got zeroed out my membrane, you keep calling me insane. Every single day more XRP is what I obtain. No more cash, no more cars, only QR codes. No more proof of work, we running validated nodes. This is the life that I chose. They look at the cons, I look at the pros. I'm always bullish and it shows. Now you wanna ask about XRP, I am not telling. Now you want some of my XRP, I am not selling, it's not for sale. Honestly, I just wish you will, cause I'm XRP for well. I'm XRP for life and that's forever, can't you tell? I just keep on buying while they telling me to sell. The whole world gonna be shocked when XRP break out its shell, and that's when we prevail. I'm XRP for well, I'm XRP for life and that's forever, can't you tell? I just keep on buying while they telling me to sell. The whole world gonna be shocked when XRP break out its shell, and that's when we prevail. XRP taking the lead, come equipped with institutional speed. XRP giving the go to proceed, don't listen to FUD, I know they mislead. Try to tell them but I know they don't care. HoDL, no nothing compared. Back in the day I was willing to share, now I don't have any left to spare. Saw some liquidity on demand, try to tell them but they don't understand. Holding my ledger right here in my hand, see the signs it was already planned. Digital economy, it's already here. I'm talking about the moon, they think I majored in astrology. Haters talking trash, I think they majored in garbology. Focus on my future, so I invest in technology. Number one is where we ranking.
Come on.
And if you don't have XRP, then I do not know what you thinking. This the time, this the year, this the place to be. HoDL strong all day long, doing it faithfully. Keep that negative energy far away from me. It's not our fault that we seeing something that you can't see. I got my hands on some on-demand liquidity, and I'ma hold on to it now into infinity. This the greatest wealth transfer the world will ever see. But I'm not talking, I'm about to go buy me more XRP, cause I'm XRP for well, I'm XRP for life and that's forever, can't you tell? I just keep on buying while they telling me to sell. The whole world gonna be shocked when XRP break out its shell, and that's when we prevail. I'm XRP for well, I'm XRP for life and that's forever, can't you tell? I just keep on buying while they telling me to sell. The whole world gonna be shocked when XRP break out its shell, and that's when we prevail. I'm XRP for well. I'm XRP for well, I'm XRP for life and that's forever, can't you tell? Can't you tell?
Let's go. What up, bro? What is up? XRP the standard and XLM the tag along. LOL. Let's go, moonshot. With the 18 months, bro. A year and a half. Wow. A year and a half, bro. It's been a while, man. It's been quite the ride, right? It's been quite the ride, bro. How are you doing, man? How is everybody doing? What we got? Just a couple people in here right now. Look at XLM. What is going on? Check this out. Look at this. Look at the triple long wicks right here. Man, there's actually 5. 3s and 5s is usually how things work in the market. 3s and 5s. Look at that. Insane, man. Insane. Close that out. Ethereum. What is Ethereum doing? Actually, let's look at XRP. Look at this. Look at this. Like 3 o'clock yesterday, like 22 hours ago, or whatever. Went down 30 cents even. It touched. Weekly. It went down to touch 30 cents even. That hasn't happened since June 2022. I'm trying to see, what does that mimic? That is previous resistance. Okay. Previous resistance, August 2017 and October 2017. Right there. Look at this. All right. That's where we're at. Boom. Look at that. Right here. Perfect. Previous resistance. Look at that. Support here. Resistance here. That's where it is, perfectly right there. And look what happened right after. Look what happened right after. Went up to about $4. Look at that. Now, but here's the thing. Now it's support. So what happens right after is going to be this way. Got to look at it for what it's worth. Before it was previous resistance, boom, support, or boom, new higher prices. Now it's support that's going to turn into resistance. But then you got to look at what happens previously. So we got nice formations happening. We didn't close a candle lower than the legs of the W, so that's a good thing. Jeff Liston, what up, my man? Moonshot, I'm still the OG. You are the man. Thanks, bro. Bottom still not in your opinion? It's possible. It is possible. Yep, still possible. I am a new proud owner of Coinbase. I own shares in Coinbase. I wanted to share that with you guys. Let me bring up the Coinbase chart. Here it is. I bought it right here at $34, right here. Hopefully we continue on an upward trajectory. We might have a head and shoulders that might bring us up to like $40. We'll see. But who knows? If prices go lower on Coinbase, I will just keep buying. It came down, touched $31, and I was looking at it at 35. Then it came down to 32, then back up to 34, and I'm like, well, I'm buying at 34. So I bought 20 shares, a little over 20 shares of Coinbase stock at $34 a share. I'm currently up like 15 something dollars, but that's not a big deal. This is a long run HoDL, and I want to continue to accumulate Coinbase stock because even if it goes lower, I will. The lower it goes, the more I buy. Yes, exactly. With the XRP moonshot, yes, 100%. We know what we hold on this channel. We've done our research, man. What can I say? We've done our research on this channel. Got my coffee, ladies and gentlemen. I got my gum. We are good to go. I am here. We're going to make a night of it. How is everybody doing? I've also been looking at ICP. I have not bought any ICP yet because it's possible it could come down to like $2. So I am keeping an eye on it. It's currently dropping right now a little bit, but I think we can get $2 possibly or lower. And then I will buy some ICP. Even though it's at a great price right now, lower the better. The bottom could still not be in, like you said, Moonshot, but at the same time, these are some amazing prices for everything. We have to admit this to ourselves. That is why every time I get a ton of money, I buy crypto. Except for recently, I just bought a bunch of Coinbase shares. But my next buy, actually right before then, I bought like 15,000 XLM Stellar Lumens. So I'm currently sitting on 25,000 Stellar, where I was only sitting on like 10,000. So I'm still upping everything because 7-cent XLM is amazing. XRP, 30-cent XRP is amazing. I will keep buying at these prices. And if they go lower, I will just do whatever I have to do to buy more. Especially if prices go lower. Because you have to know what you hold. Once you find something good and it gives you an amazing price and you know it's good, you know it's a trend, you know it's adoptable, you know how big it is, you just keep buying. Because your future is going to be amazing. We are in the bottom of the depths of markets and they could go lower, ladies and gentlemen. We have to set ourselves up for the future. Callie Lemke, how are you doing? Welcome. Get some chewing gum. Some spearmint. I like spearmint. I like 5 gum spearmint, but I also like extra. I have so many empty boxes of extra chewing gum. Oh well. Solana doing some crazy stuff. Let's take a look. Holy shit. Wow. Possible V-shaped recovery from $8 even. This is the point. This is where you would bounce off right here to go back down, or you retest and go higher at the 400 EMA. XLM is doing the same thing. Coinbase is doing the same thing. Yep. XLM did the same thing. Bounced off the 50, went over the 200, bounced off the 200, is heading for the 400.
The thing is we far too early full score.
Yes, we are far too early. Still, Moonshot, appreciate the 5, man. Yes, we are very early still. And that's the funny part. At these great prices, we are still early to the adoption of crypto, the future of money, blockchain technology, assets, tokenization, non-fungible tokens, property rights, ownership, the way money moves. We are so early into this new technology that all we have to do is hold. All we have to do is hodl. All we have to do is hodl. Ladies and gentlemen, the hats will be in the next week or two. The hodl hats will be here within the next couple weeks. Appreciate the $5 donation, Moonshot. Appreciate you, bro. So yeah, we have that coming. Yes. This is why we buy when prices are low. Let's look at WadsPay token. WadsPay up quite a bit as well. We're going to be the 1%, 100%. All you have to do is hold. People that traded, people that held, people that bought crypto and held it through the last bull run and the one that we just went through made more money than everybody that traded. So Raul Paul, actually, let me get this. Hold on a second. Is it Daily Dose of Crypto? Yes.
What do you feel to date has been your
stuff like you, because they're more the probabilities. So what you're looking at all is looking at in what's going to happen from here. The ability of making high returns is low. But if you can find a set of circumstances that could come into play where inflation falling further into understanding that relationship way, because it has a unique skill set. You can be macro, but and when you do, you get rewarded with a positive P&L. Magic moment when you solve it all. I had that moment outside of crypto. I had that moment in 2020 where I was forecasting a recession based on my stuff. Then obviously, and I found a way of doing it. standpoint by a long way. And I've had some other great homework was telling me
Something different.
but if you're just looking at dispassionate price action, it has really taught me the joys of long-term investing, which I've always been a long-term investor, without leverage in something volatile enough that gives you high returns. And it's amazing.
Now, can you tell us what's in your crypto portfolio? And I'm assuming it's maybe a lot. So maybe your top coins that you're holding. You mentioned Ethereum.
He was talking about it at 300. Oh yeah, Nas is one of my favorite rappers. But when Kathy Wood bought a bunch of Coinbase at like $150 to $200, everybody was like, Coinbase stock. And I'm like, no, just wait. And anybody here on this channel last year knows that I said I will wait till the price drops on Coinbase because it IPOs at a high price. And boom, here it is. I'm buying it at $34 a share right now. And if it goes lower, I will buy it even lower. It just went to 32, but then it came back up to 34. So I was like, wait a minute. If this is returning, I have to buy. So I bought a bunch of shares. But listen to this. But yeah, Nas is my favorite rapper.
Largest holding now, starts on 6 months ago. Those things exploded, Decentraland and Sandbox, and I have some social token bets with Chili's and Rally. And is the market pricing that? Because you're going against what is priced into markets. Most people, bizarrely in macro, are very chart driven because we're very visual. Because you have to.
All right.
What do you feel to date has been your best investment and also one of your worst?
The best investment I have made is always in the life that I live. So in my lifestyle, people are too orientated by money, and it's actually the quality of life that you live is the goal of everything. My investments in my quality of life, I live in nice houses, I live in a nice place, and I've gone out of my way to solve for that. Like I said, I wanted a tropical beach, so I went and found a way of doing it. I wanted to live in the Mediterranean, and I found a way of doing it. Which is that macro mindset of you kind of make your future. That is my best investment by far, because it's the most important thing. And paying off my first mortgage, I bought a second home in Spain. It wasn't very expensive. It was quite a big house, but with my bonus, I bought the house, so it was in cash. And then I know I'd won the game because I could work in a bar. I could lose my job, anything could happen, and I'd be fine. Those kind of investments are the really meaningful ones. Crypto, Ethereum has been my best ever investment from a P&L standpoint by a long way. And I've had some other great trades in my life, and I've had some absolutely terrible ones. My worst investment was not even single investments because I don't really remember them. It's when I, in 2009, overrode my macro framework when my economic indicators were starting to say the recession had bottomed, the worst of the crisis was over. I overrode it with emotion and said, yeah, but we're going to have a double dip. This is always going to be worse. I remained short and I didn't do what my homework was telling me, all of my macro framework. And that was a mistake I didn't make in 2020. I closed out all of those trades that I put on, the short trades, by end of March, April, almost at the lows. Now, I'm not saying I'm a hero for doing it, but I stuck to my framework.
Something that's interesting about that, you mentioned the emotions, and this is a common battle for many investors, even myself, where I'm looking at the charts, I'm looking at the data, but my emotions are saying to keep going or do something different. How do you think is the best way to overcome those emotions and to bring yourself back to a level playing field in your mind, so to speak?
Crypto has been the best single way to teach myself how to do it because I've got a big picture framework, I've got a long-term risk reward, and I've learned.
Raoul Pal is one of my favorite investors. What he has done in this space really cannot be mimicked by many people. Raoul Pal used to be, I believe, a Goldman Sachs guy. He's very macro Ethereum, very long Ethereum. He has some other great as well. I know he hodls XRP as well. Number one on this channel is XRP. My other investments, for anyone who's new here, is WADS token. I dipped my feet in. I love WADS Pay token. I'm holding Legacy, OMI. What else are we holding here? Blocktopia. We obviously have some XL25, a lot of XLM, a lot of VeChain, and just most recently Coinbase. But I wanted to listen. This is a good video from Raul. I like this video. It just came out.
To look at, I mean, I've got an hourly chart of Ethereum next to me, and I watch it and I think, oh my god, it's going to roll over. But I disassociate that from my P&L. I don't even look at my P&L. I look at it occasionally when the market's at all-time highs, but I just ignore it, because looking at the P&L makes you think, oh my god, I made and lost this much money today. And that becomes an emotional state of fear or euphoria. But if you're just looking at dispassionate price action, it's different. And I haven't always done that. And it's different with crypto because I don't use leverage. So I don't have to obsess over the price. But in macro, you tend to use a lot of leverage otherwise. And then you have to obsess over the price because you're going to get into deep trouble if it goes against you. So again, crypto's really taught me the joys of long-term investing, which I've always been a long-term investor, without leverage in something volatile enough that gives you high returns. And it's amazing.
Now, can you tell us what's in your crypto portfolio? And I'm assuming it's maybe a lot. So maybe your top coins that you're holding, you mentioned Ethereum.
It's fascinating. So my structure of how I built my portfolio is I started with Bitcoin, moved into Ethereum, switched most of my Bitcoin into Ethereum. And then I built a basket of alternatives, and I just took an equally weighted basket of like 10 large cap, because I don't know. I added Solana at some point into that. Didn't do anything else. Just left it like that. What's fascinating is my second largest holding now, from an equally weighted basket, second to Ethereum, Sandbox. I'm bought on it. It just went up 20x in the last month and a half, which is crazy. I mean, I would not have my second largest. I would not take that position. The second largest month and a half box. I'm bought on it. It just went up 20x in the last month and a half.
Did he just say Sandbox went up 20x in the last month and a half? Yeah, that's not as recent as I thought it was. Jesus. Anyway, still a great investor, Raul Paul. Let's see what JB Tree put out. Michael Saylor just revealed where all the money went.
FTX invested $5.6 billion in FTX Ventures. They must have spent another $2 billion in marketing or more in the 2 years. So they poured about $7.5 billion into the economy, and they did it by, in essence, counterfeiting $10 billion or more worth of tokens like FTT and SRM, and they boosted Solana, and they boosted Maps, and then they went and they borrowed real money. They borrowed as much as they could, posting that collateral from counterparties that, they borrowed from BlockFi and, borrowed from Voyager and probably borrowed from Three Arrows, or they borrowed from anybody that would have made a loan to them. And then they borrowed from their own depositors at FTX. And of course, they then raised billions of dollars from outside investors. And they took all that money and they in essence corrupted everybody they could, right? So you give $45 million to Block, right? $45 million to a handful of journalists. What could go wrong, and $15 million to one influencer who will remain nameless that everybody knows. And you know, and then you give it to every politician on both sides of the aisle, and then you give it to all of the academics. I think it'll be probably 3 to 5 years before we know the extent of that corrupt money. But I don't think that there are many people that weren't tainted. They went to pretty much every crypto influencer, every journalist, every politician, every entrepreneur, everybody every educator, everyone that would take their money.
Michael Saylor reveals where all the stolen money from FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried went, and speaks on how Kevin O'Leary is complicit in the FTX fraud, as he took $15 million of sponsorship money to be a paid spokesperson for the fraudulent company. In his latest interview, Michael Saylor breaks his silence on the fraud and manipulation going on at FTX, and speaks on where he has as much conviction in Bitcoin as ever. Make sure to stick around to that.
And then they either never bought the Bitcoin, or they bought the Bitcoin and then panic sold or sold the Bitcoin in a fire sale as they were being forced liquidated. You know, say FTX that collected billions and billions of dollars but never bought the Bitcoin, actually. So why is this a problem? If FTX stole billions of dollars in a BlockFi and Voyager and Three Arrows and Celsius and Terra Luna, if all of those ecosystems basically collected people's money and then lost all the money, then people that legitimately wanted to own Bitcoin had their money stolen from them. And then you have more casual Bitcoiners that maybe they bought the Bitcoin and deposited in Celsius to get some yield, and now they lost their Bitcoin. And I think that that's tragedy. I mean, it's bad for them, right? It's awful for anyone who had their money stolen from them. And it's not good for Bitcoin, because billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin was stolen and / destroyed, right? I send you $20 billion to buy Bitcoin, you take the Bitcoin, you steal the money, and the Bitcoin doesn't get bought. Or I send you 20 billion worth of Bitcoin, and then you loan it out to someone that invested in Terra Luna, and Terra Luna goes to zero, and then the Bitcoin never comes back, you know? And so what happened? They converted the Bitcoin into Terra Luna, or converted the Bitcoin into FTT or the equivalent, and then that went to zero, right? So that kind of makes you mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you would say you probably shouldn't have trusted any of these people, but there are a lot of decent people that did trust them, right? You got a lot of crypto influencers, a lot of Bitcoin influencers, and they were sponsored by Blockfolio and FTX and Celsius and some of the other players in the space. If you were sponsored by Voyager or BlockFi or FTX, and then someone decided to use one of those, I think the Gemini Earn product, right, where people actually bought Bitcoin through Gemini and then they transfer it to Genesis, and Genesis generates yield by maybe loaning it out to Three Arrows, and Three Arrows loses it and Genesis can't pay you back. And that's a low point in the industry. It's a growing pain. It's a brutally expensive market lesson, but it
Hey, Gianni, Happy New Year. Appreciate you.
just reminds you of the corrupting influence of the industry. There are so many people that are counterfeiting money, or they're just stealing the money. And the advantage is to the counterfeiters. It lent Alameda somewhere beyond any regulation. Well, of course, not an answer if you're the what turned out that the CEO of JP Morgan was issuing billion-dollar loans to Jamie Dimon, real estate development company, jointly owned with him and his wife, right? People would just lose it.
Yep.
Right? For obvious reasons.
So 2022 has been, I think, a complicated year, right? I think a lot of people are remembering the year for all of the terrible stuff that's happened, and within the crypto space for all of the multi-billion-dollar blowups. But I think it's also important to remember all of the various positives that the crypto space has seen, right? So the merge, I think, is the most recent one, but the big one, right? This is something that the Ethereum has been waiting for pretty much since its inception, right? And it's been delayed and complexified and turned out to be more complex than we thought, and lots of things have happened. But now finally, as of September 15th, I think it was 0645 UTC, we actually have a proof of stake chain, right? And doesn't it just feel good to be able to say, not Ethereum is going to reduce its energy consumption by 99.9%, but Ethereum has reduced its energy consumption by 99.9%, right? We're literally talking about going from a level of electricity consumption similar to the entire country of Austria to a level of electricity consumption similar to the entire country of, maybe San Marino, maybe Vatican.
Vitalik Buterin is the creator and head founder of the second largest cryptocurrency, Ethereum. However, even before creating Ethereum, Vitalik was a huge Bitcoin bull and around the crypto space essentially since its inception. In doing so, Buterin has been a part of and witnessed every single boom and bust cycle in crypto and has one of the most measured and experienced outlooks on the entire space. In his most recent interview with Bankless, Buterin gives a message of optimism that this current bear market cycle is just like the previous bear cycles we have seen play out in crypto in the past, and why he has never had more confidence in Ethereum and its performance in the next bull cycle. However, Buterin also gives his message of optimism with a warning to investors, speaking on how if huge liquidations such as FTX continue to play out, it's going to halt crypto adoption and stop it from ever going from 10% of global adoption to the 70% it has the potential for. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Buterin also outlines the three biggest
did have a lot of bad consequences in all kinds of places, and it made a huge number of people very unhappy. 2022, a lot of very similar things are happening, except, now we have I think a much more interconnected crypto space, and we have a lot more sophistication, and so, on the other hand, a lot more fragility and contagion happening, right? Though I think it's important to remember that, in 2014, there was fragility and contagion too, right? Because Mt. Gox, when it collapsed, it was both the thing causing the crypto prices to crash, and also the thing that people were used to as being the place where prices moved up and down. And so the market had to basically crash and change where its numbers were coming from at the same time, right? And here, this year we had the double whammy of obviously first Luna coming back down to Earth, and Terra going back down to somewhere much lower. Really crazy stuff that keeps losing people $5 billion keeps happening are the exact opposite of what the space wants and needs to do, right? So I wanted to give the message of optimism, but also give this kind of important message that there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and the status quo, even if it's a status quo that's kind of secretly exciting and fun for a lot of us, that's not the sort of thing that we want crypto to continue to be 4 years from now if we actually wanted to succeed. Intentionally said what in the Ethereum application ecosystem excites me instead of what in the crypto space excites me. This is in experiments I've been trying, right? Basically, using the word crypto less and using the word Ethereum more. And this is a subtle thing. I mean, it's still an early stage experiment, so I'm not entirely sure what all of the consequences of kind of emphasizing Ethereum in particular much more would be, but the theory here, so first of all, it's not maximalist, right? So it's not saying focus on Ethereum to the exclusion of everything else. It's more saying we are not going to implicitly ally with you just because you are a cryptocurrency by default, right? The problem with the crypto space is that the crypto space is an ungovernable commons that has no barrier to entry, right? So if you remember, the basics of, Eleanor Ostrom's theory of the commons and what commons create tragedies of the commons and what commons can be governed, one of the basic ingredients for a commons to be governed is gatekeeping, right? You have to actually be able to, say, this is us and this is not us, and actually be able like have some level of enforcement or filtering in the thing that is us. With the crypto space, like the only qualification to be able to call yourself part of the crypto space and not have people complain is to just like somehow use cryptography and to have some kind of chained data structure somewhere. Like those are literally the qualifications. Like you don't even need decentralization, right? Like I forget, has IOTA even gotten rid of their coordinator yet? I forget now.
No,
right?
the answer is no.
Right. Like XRP, right? Like they're like still completely centralized, and but at the same time they are on CoinMarketCap, and still I think haven't apologized for writing documents into the to the US government, basically saying that they should be favored over Bitcoin and Ethereum because Bitcoin and Ethereum are China controlled. And I think there's a
Well, Bitcoin and Ethereum are China controlled.
huge amounts of opportunity, right? Like if you can make a wallet that 1 billion people use, that's a huge opportunity. If you can make a stable coin that can actually survive, anything up to and including a US dollar hyperinflation, and, Doge forbid the US dollar hyperinflation actually ends up happening, then, that's a huge opportunity as well, if you can, create something that can actually, be a lifeline for everyone going through that situation. If you can get sign in with Ethereum to work, and you can like unseat Facebook and Google and Twitter as the kind of login overlords of the internet, that itself is a huge opportunity, right? And there are still huge things that are left unclaimed that still can be built, but they're harder to build, right? Like you can't just build obfuscated casinos and get people to throw $13 million in and just have a fairly quick path to victory. So that's the place where I think the space is in now, and I think the people that are going to be more successful are the people that are actually willing to put that kind of hard work in.
Okay. Kind of skipped through that a little bit, but there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot going on right now in the crypto space, and I say that for many reasons. One is you look at the metaverse or metaverse projects or virtual reality. Now, don't confuse metaverse with virtual reality, because it doesn't necessarily have to be virtual reality. There are a lot of them out there that are just on your computer screen, not in a VR headset that you go walk around and hang out in. But if you take just Sandbox, for example, and you see it's at a price of 40 cents, and the last time it was at a price of 40 cents was like July of 2021, okay? And you see that's the prices we're currently at now, and it's right at the middle of this W formation before this thing just takes off, which it was in June, a month right before. And then it goes from 40 cents, and then it over 20 X's. It 21 X's pretty much from there. Insane. But the major thing I want to look at in Ethereum, and this I think is very important. Let's clear everything off of this Ethereum. And let's take a look at where it's at right now. So Ethereum hung out around the 150 range before taking off to $393. And then in 2017, 2018, it went up to $1,400. $1,400. We're currently at the second top of that bull run right now, in price at 1,200. So what I believe is, I think that Ethereum still has a ways to come down. Ethereum could still come down to like $200. Actually, where did it break? It broke right there. Ethereum can still come down to $150 in price. If this head and shoulders plays out correctly, we could be getting Ethereum. Are you barking at me?
Yes, she is.
Luna is barking at me. Can I help you?
Let's go.
Can I help you? What? Why are you yelling at me? She really wants my attention right now. Luna, let me go get Luna. So Ethereum could be... I think Ethereum is going to be coming down to $150. You better run. Yeah. Look at this Winnie. Good girl. Are you a good girl? Are you a good girl? Look at this haircut. You got a nice hair. Oh, did you go to the groomers today? Look at this. Oh, you look so good. She went to the groomers today. Huh. Mwah, you good girl. Mwah. I'll give him some treats. All right, there we go. So looking at this, now let's invert this. Hold on a second. Cancel. All right. So here's the scale, right? We see this head and shoulders right here. Right here. So we would immediately look at this and we're like, okay, this thing is going to go higher. In all reality, it's inverted and it's got to go lower. So it looks like the head and shoulders that we just measured out, uninvert the scale, we just measured this out. Look at that head and shoulders. This is the breaking point. This is where it goes. Right here. I think Ethereum goes here. That's where Ethereum goes. I think we'll be getting Ethereum for $150. That sounds good to me. And once that happens, for just a teeny bit of time, it will be a short window. Yeah, it's going to go insane. At best, or at worst, for prices, we get 700 to 800. 700 to 800, possibly 500. But we could be seeing $150 to $160 Ethereum. Other than that, we are getting small bounces right now in the market. Could this be the bottom, or do we have a little more to go? You know, these are the questions, but I can say that I am very comfortable buying a ton at these prices. I keep making my positions bigger because I am going to just keep hodling. No selling, just hodling all the way through 2023, through 2024, right into 2025, where we will be multi double-digit millionaire, possible billionaires because of this new system. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I hope to catch you all at noon tomorrow. I didn't plan on coming on tonight, but I wanted to really quickly to just talk about a couple things with you real quick. Think about the things I said today, because tomorrow there's a lot of stuff I want to go over, because I'm very excited for the Coinbase shares that I bought the other day. I only own 20 shares right now, but I plan on owning 100 before the end of January. I'm Jaded Blur. Until next time, we'll put out some more videos later. And we might be seeing some even cheaper Coinbase, I hope. Peace.
I got zeroed out my membrane, you keep calling me insane. Every single day more XRP is what I obtain. No more cash, no more cars, only QR codes. No more proof of work, we running validated nodes. This is the life that I chose. They look at the cons, I look at the pros. I'm always bullish and it shows. Now you wanna ask about XRP, I am not telling. Now you want some of my XRP, I am not selling, it's not for sale. Honestly, I just wish you well, cause I'm XRP for well. I'm XRP for life and that's forever, can't you tell? I just keep on buying while they telling me to sell. The whole world gonna be shocked when XRP break out its shell, and that's when we prevail. I'm XRP for well, I'm XRP for life and that's forever, can't you tell?